It's finally here, the day the universe has been quietly preparing you for, piece by piece, without you even realizing just how much was being set in motion behind the scenes. August 11th arrives carrying a pulse you can almost feel in your chest if you pause long enough to notice it. This is the day Mercury turns direct in Leo, and with that shift comes a wave of energy that feels like a long-lost part of yourself finally walking back through the door. The fog that's been clouding your thoughts begins to clear. The words you've been searching for return with ease. That restless pent-up momentum you've been feeling is finally allowed to move forward, like water breaking free after being held behind a dam for too long. But here's the truth. When that door swings open, not everyone will want you to step through it. Some will see the change in you and consciously or unconsciously try to slow you down. They might plant small seeds of doubt in your mind, push you to second-guess your decisions, or pull you toward old patterns you've worked so hard to grow beyond. It might not even be malicious. Sometimes people resist change simply because it disrupts the version of you they've grown comfortable with. Yet the fact remains, if you give in to their distractions or explanations, your clarity will start to fade. The energy of Mercury direct in Leo is rare. It's bold, decisive, and deeply rooted in the heart. It's about reclaiming your voice and taking up the space you were always meant to inhabit. On this day, every word you speak and every choice you make is magnified. They ripple out farther and faster than usual, touching places you may not even see yet. That's why your boundaries matter more than ever. If you let someone drain your focus now, you risk scattering the very power you just fought to regain. This is not the time to dim your light so that others can remain comfortable in the shadows. This is the time to protect your energy like it is the foundation of everything you're building, because it is. Mercury in Leo is a cosmic challenge to your boundaries, a reminder that clarity is not just given to you. It's something you must actively protect. And here's the subtle danger. Even a casual offhand comment from someone operating from fear or uncertainty can plant hesitation in your mind. In this alignment, hesitation is costly. This is not the day for lingering over what-ifs or waiting for the perfect moment. Mercury rules the way you think, communicate, and connect. When it's moving forward in Leo, it asks you to speak your truth boldly and unapologetically. But Leo energy doesn't move quietly, it draws attention. You'll notice more eyes on you. Some will be curious. Some will be supportive. And yes, some will test you. One wrong conversation at the wrong time could scatter the focus you've been building for weeks. That's why today, you must keep your circle tight. Only invest your time and words into what genuinely moves you toward your next chapter. If someone tries to drag you back into outdated patterns, recognize that they're not doing it for your benefit. They're doing it to keep their own comfort intact. Think of August 11th as a filter. The people, opportunities, and situations aligned with your growth will naturally move closer. The ones that aren't will either to drift away or try to pull you back. Your only responsibility is to keep your energy clear so the right things can find you without interference. You might feel the air itself shifting, charged, impatient, almost urging you to act. This is the push of Mercury direct in Leo. It's the cosmic green light, but not everyone will see it. Those who aren't tuned in will pass the day as though nothing has changed, but you'll feel it. Conversations will have a sharper edge. The timing of events will suddenly change. Messages you've been waiting on will arrive. Offers that felt stalled will suddenly move forward, and choices that seemed tangled and impossible just days ago will suddenly feel obvious. Yet with this clarity comes a test. Will you hold steady in your truth when others try to bend it? Will you resist the urge to over-explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you? Because make no mistake, when you step into alignment, it reflects back to others the parts of themselves they've been avoiding. For some, that will be inspiring. For others, it will be uncomfortable. And discomfort often drives them to try to slow you down, not out of ill will, but out of an instinct to protect their own equilibrium. Your focus today must be like a beam of light, sharp, direct, and unwavering. Every time you allow yourself to be pulled into gossip, pointless arguments, or fear-based thinking, that light scatters. And scattered light cannot break through the walls you're meant to break through right now. Mercury in Leo isn't about reckless force. It's about bold, heart-centered truth. It's not enough to know what you want. You must speak it, live it, and refuse to dilute it for anyone's comfort. That's not aggression, it's integrity. As you move through this day, you may notice that certain conversations resolve quickly and smoothly, almost as if the universe is clearing space for you. That's the alignment working in your favor. But you may also notice some interactions feel heavier than usual, like someone's trying to pull you back into a role you no longer play. Those are your signs. Those are the ones to release, whether that means stepping back quietly or letting them go completely. This day is a pivot point. If you move with it, momentum will carry you further than you could have pushed yourself during the retrograde. If you ignore it or allow distractions to weaken your stance, you may find yourself waiting weeks for another window this open and this clear. So protect your boundaries like your future depends on them, because it does. Stop wasting energy explaining yourself to people who don't want to understand. Choose silence over defending your truth to those who only want to debate it. Keep your attention locked on where you're headed, not where you've been. When this day is over and you look back, you'll realize that every choice you made on August 11th will echo forward into the weeks and months ahead. If those choices are grounded in courage, clarity, and trust in yourself, you will feel the shift almost immediately, because Mercury in Leo is not just an astrological event, it is a call. A call to lead with your truth, to speak with conviction, and to refuse to dim the fire in your chest just so others can avoid the heat. The clarity you gain today is a gift. But what you choose to do with it, that's the real test. Today is one of those rare turning points when every yes and every no holds the power to shape months, if not years, of your life. A yes spoken today can open a door that stays unlocked long after this moment passes. A no spoken with clarity can finally close cycles that have been draining you for far too long. But if you let someone else choose for you, if you hand them the final say over what you know in your heart is right, you surrender your power before it even has the chance to transform your life. This is why your boundaries are not just preferences today. They are your shield. They are the invisible walls holding your future in place. Protect them as if the very path you're meant to walk depends on it, because it does. If you feel someone pulling on your energy, clouding your focus, or making you second-guess what you already know is true, step back. You don't owe them a defense. You don't need to explain your clarity to anyone who is committed to misunderstanding you. And here's the deeper truth. August 11th is not just about the choices you make today. It's a pivot point that will echo into the weeks and months ahead. The decisions you make now will carry momentum into the next Mercury cycle. If you plant seeds of self-trust and courage, they will grow stronger with every passing day. But if you allow hesitation or self-doubt to take root, those will grow too, becoming harder to pull out later. The energy is fertile right now. What you choose to plant will flourish, whether it's empowering or limiting. Throughout the day, you may notice certain signs. A conversation you've been avoiding suddenly comes to the surface. A plan you thought was lost reappears. Someone tries to get you to question yourself. These aren't coincidences, they're tests. The question in each moment is simple. Will you move forward in alignment with this new wave of energy, or will you let someone else steer you off course? Mercury direct in Leo is not subtle. This is bold, fiery, unmistakable energy. It rewards decisive action, fearless truth-telling, and unapologetic authenticity. But it will also shine a spotlight on the places where fear is still holding you back. Instead of resisting that light, lean into it. Speak the truth you've been holding in. Take the step you've been delaying. And whatever you do not allow anyone to convince you to shrink back into the version of yourself you've already outgrown. By the time this day ends, something will have shifted permanently. Old doors will close for good, and new ones will stand waiting. Whether or not you walk through them depends entirely on how fiercely you protect your energy, your focus, and your voice right now. You might look at today and think, it's just another Monday, but it's not. The air feels different, denser somehow. Time itself seems to bend, stretching and contracting around key moments. Words, even casual ones, seem to carry more weight. That's because Mercury is finally moving direct in Leo, and this isn't just a short spark of change. It's the beginning of a current that will carry you forward for weeks. But here's the catch. The first step into this new energy is the most vulnerable. It's the moment when people begin to sense the shift in you before you even say a word. Their reactions, whether they try to match your pace or slow you down, will reveal exactly who they are in your life. Some will encourage you to run with this momentum. Others will feel threatened because your movement reminds them of where they've been standing still. And this is where you cannot slip. Point one wrong conversation, one moment of letting someone else's doubt take root in your mind, one unnecessary explanation given to someone who hasn't earned your truth. Any of these can bleed away the momentum the universe is offering you. And momentum, once lost, rarely waits for you to catch up. Today, Mercury in Leo sharpens not just your voice, but your vision. This isn't about shouting to be heard. It's about speaking with precision, with intention, with a quiet but unshakable certainty about what you want and what you will no longer tolerate. That clarity is both your weapon and your shield, but it's also the very thing that can make you a target for distractions. Think of this day as stepping onto a long, narrow bridge. The bridge is sturdy, but the wind is strong. If you keep your eyes forward, you'll reach the other side, where the path widens and the view expands. But if you look down, if you turn back when someone calls your name, if you stop to justify your steps, you risk losing your balance. And here's the hard truth. Some people you expect to cheer for you will not. Not because they dislike you, but because your progress forces them to face their own stagnation. That's uncomfortable, and instead of confronting it, they may try to slow you down or tempt you to wait just a little longer. If you agree, you'll step off the bridge and back into the life you were trying to leave. So you have to ask yourself, how badly do you want what's waiting on the other side? Because today isn't just about choices. It's about declarations. Every action you take is sending a message to the universe. I'm ready or I'm not. And the universe will respond in kind. That's why you must stand your ground more fiercely than ever. Protect your time like it's sacred. Guard your energy like it's gold. Speak your truth only to those who have earned the right to hear it. When someone tries to pull you into their storm, let them spin without you. When someone questions your path, let them wonder without an answer. You are not here to be universally understood. You are here to walk toward what is meant for you. And the truth is, this is only the beginning. August 11th is the crack in the door. In the days ahead, that door will swing wider. Opportunities you can't see yet are already on their way. People who will change your path are already thinking about you, even if you've never met. The current is building, and what comes next will depend entirely on whether you cross that bridge without looking back. As the hours pass, you'll notice patterns revealing themselves. Someone you haven't heard from in ages calls out of nowhere. A person brings up a subject you thought you put behind you. An urgent request appears just as you're about to make progress on something important. These are not random, they are checkpoints. The universe isn't simply giving you a green light, it's testing whether you'll actually move when the road is clear. Some of these tests will be obvious, an argument that tries to drag you back into old emotions, an enticing distraction that takes you away from what matters, a familiar face from the past reappearing at just the wrong moment. Others will be subtle, a lighthearted conversation that leaves you feeling oddly drained, a quick favor that swallows half your day, a compliment laced with just enough doubt to make you hesitate. Whether you pass these tests will determine whether the momentum carries you or slips away. And once it's gone, it won't return in the same form. Today, more than ever, is a day to move with conviction, to protect what's yours, and to keep walking forward without turning back. Awareness is the anchor that keeps everything steady, especially on a day like August 11th. From the moment you wake, every interaction will either feed your forward movement or quietly drain it away. What makes this so tricky is that most people lose momentum not through a single dramatic setback, but through countless tiny compromises they don't even realize they're making. It's the casual agreement to something that doesn't serve you, the unguarded moment when you let doubt slip in, the small conversations that subtly take the edge off your drive. When Mercury turns direct in Leo, it doesn't just place clarity into your hands. It calls you to guard that clarity like something rare and irreplaceable. Imagine it as a flame, one that has been flickering for weeks but now burns hotter, brighter, and more alive than it has in a long time. This flame has the power to light your path and draw opportunities toward you. But if the wrong people stand too close, whether intentionally or simply because they can't stand the heat of your momentum, they can smother it. This is the day to notice who adds oxygen to your fire and who dampens it. That's why the spaces you inhabit and the people you share them with matter more than usual. Keep your circle tight. Speak less to those who have shown they can't hold your truth without twisting it into something unrecognizable. Spend more time where your spirit feels fueled, where the air around you makes your inner flame dance higher. Protecting your energy today isn't selfish. It's the very thing that will determine how far this shift can carry you, because August 11th isn't the finish line. It's the ignition point. What begins here will ripple forward into the coming days with speed and force. Conversations, decisions, and chances will start moving faster than you've seen in weeks, maybe months. The foundation you set today will decide whether that rush sweeps you exactly where you want to be or pushes you somewhere you never intended to go. Step into the current with focus, and the flow will guide you. Step in distracted or unsure, and you'll find yourself spinning sideways. The universe has already opened the door. The bridge is waiting. The current is moving. From here on, What happens next will depend on whether you walk forward with steady eyes or allow someone to reach back and pull you off track. And here's the truth. Once this current gains speed in the days ahead, hesitation will cost you more than you think. The choices you make now will echo, and by the time you realize just how loudly, you'll already be deep into the next phase. For weeks, Mercury's retrograde has tangled your words, delayed your plans, and filled your mind with fog. Every step forward felt like it took twice as much effort. Every decision carried a shadow of doubt. You've been circling, waiting for the skies to clear. On August 11th, they finally do. The fog lifts. Suddenly, what was stuck begins to shift. Conversations restart. Opportunities that seemed far away take a step closer, but here's what most people don't expect. Clarity attracts attention, and not all of it will support you. The moment your energy rises, the world notices. People who have been comfortable with your hesitation may feel uneasy when you start moving boldly. Some will cheer you on, inspired by your change. Others will try to pull you back toward what's familiar, because your growth disrupts the roles they've been used to playing. They may question your choices, distract you with their problems, or subtly encourage you to slow down. On this day, you cannot allow their uncertainty to become yours. You've waited too long for this forward motion to hand it over so easily. One poorly timed conversation, one seed of doubt planted in your mind, and the momentum you've been given can scatter. Mercury in Leo is bold, decisive, and led by the heart. It gives you the courage to speak truths you've been holding back and take steps you've been avoiding. But even this courage has limits. It must be guarded. If you waste this energy explaining yourself to people who have no intention of understanding you, or spend it in situations that drain you, you risk losing the rare advantage this day brings. Treat your energy as gold. Choose your company and your conversations carefully. Notice what feels heavy and step back. Recognize when someone is pulling you into old patterns, and understand it's not just habit, it's a test. And you are not here to fail it. Think of August 11th as your first step onto a narrow bridge that leads into your next chapter. You cannot afford to look down or glance over your shoulder. Keep your eyes ahead and your focus locked. The choices you make here will shape how quickly and clearly the days ahead unfold. Hold your ground now, and doors you couldn't even see before will swing open almost effortlessly. In the days that follow, you'll start to see patterns emerge. People from your past might suddenly reach out. Conversations that once ended could find new life. Plans long stalled may finally have a path forward. These moments aren't random. They're the ripple effect of the alignment you stepped into on August 11th. Yet movement always demands decisions, and not all will be comfortable. Some will ask you to leave behind the safety of what you know for the promise of growth. Certain relationships may feel out of sync with the person you're becoming. This is the deeper challenge of August 11th. Mercury direct in Leo is not just about speed or clarity. It's about integrity. Can you act in full alignment with who you are now, even when it costs you something familiar? Will you protect the momentum you've gained, or will you let someone else's fear slow your pace? The universe will keep sending both invitations and distractions. Invitations will feel light, open, and in harmony with your vision. Distractions will feel urgent, heavy, and designed to pull your gaze away from what matters. Your task is to know the difference instantly and act accordingly. As August unfolds, this energy will intensify. If you honored yourself on August 11th, you'll glide into opportunities with surprising ease. If you gave away your power, you may find yourself chasing what could have been yours with less effort. This date is not just a square on the calendar, it's a pivot point. The current you step into now will either carry you forward into the chapter you've been longing for, or pull you back into cycles you've been trying to escape. Once you cross this bridge, there is no path back to where you started. You've seen what's ahead, and forward is the only direction that remains. You aren't reading this by chance. Your path has been quietly preparing you for this moment. August 11th is your doorway, but not everyone will notice it. Only those who are paying attention, who can feel the shift in the air, who see the patterns in their own lives, will recognize its presence. For months, Mercury retrograde has slowed your pace, blurred your focus, and held you in limbo. Conversations remained unfinished. Opportunities hovered near but refused to land. Now the trial is over. On August 11th, Mercury turns direct in Leo. Your voice returns. Your direction sharpens. Your resolve strengthens. The road ahead is clear, and it's yours to take, if you can guard your flame and walk forward without looking back. But hear me clearly, The energy of this day is not only a blessing, it is also a test. It comes as both a gift and a challenge, wrapped in the same moment. Because when your power begins to rise, so will the forces, subtle or obvious, that try to disrupt it. It's an old truth of life. Momentum attracts attention. Some will try to redirect it knowingly, while others will do it without any awareness at all. Even the simple presence of certain people can act like a drag on your energy, slowing you without your permission. On August 11th, not every person who approaches you will be carrying pure intentions. Some will speak in ways that plant small seeds of doubt in your mind. They may cloak it in concern or dress it in logic, but the result will be hesitation where there was once clarity. Others will try to wedge urgent tasks, sudden emergencies, or cleverly disguise distractions into your day, not because they are malicious, but because their energy is chaotic, and chaos rarely respects boundaries. If you allow yourself to get pulled into these currents, the momentum gifted to you on this day will drain away before the sun even sets. This is why on this day, more than most, you must keep certain plans and dreams to yourself. Not out of secrecy, but out of sacred protection. Every thought you share is a seed, and not all soil is ready to nurture it. Hold your vision close, and do not lay it in hands that might crush it without realizing. Step away quickly from anything that feels heavy, murky, or draining. Let your inner voice be louder, stronger, and clearer than any noise around you. Chosen one, August 11th is not merely a date on the calendar. It is a doorway, and that doorway will not remain open forever. You have a choice: step through into a new path or remain where you stand. If you step through, entire landscapes of opportunity will reveal themselves. If you hesitate, yes, the chance may return in time, but rarely this clearly, rarely this strongly, rarely with this much alignment pushing you forward. And remember, this day is not just about this day. What you set in motion on August 11th will not dissolve when midnight arrives. It will echo forward, shaping the weeks ahead. The steps you take, the words you speak, and the decisions you make will define the version of yourself you will meet in the future. You are literally choosing which version of you will greet you in the days and months to come. Understand this: August 11th is not just any Monday. It is the opening scene of a week that will mirror the way you enter it. The energy you carry into this first day will ripple into every single hour that follows. Begin this Monday in focus, in clarity, in strength, and the rest of the week will respond accordingly. Conversations will feel easier, plans will align as if by magic, and obstacles will shrink into manageable steps. But start in distraction, giving your energy to the wrong people, the wrong stories, the wrong battles, and you will carry that heavy frequency into Tuesday, Wednesday, and beyond. This is why Mercury turning direct in Leo on a Monday is not some cosmic accident. It is a clean reset, a rare and powerful chance to claim the tone of your week before the week claims you. The universe is handing you the pen to write the script of your coming days, but you must grip it firmly and write with intention when you wake on August 11th. Guard your first thoughts as if they are treasures, because they are. Choose them carefully. Decide consciously who will receive your time and attention and who will not. Move with deliberate intention, even in the smallest actions, because the way you begin is the way you continue. This week will follow the lead you set in its opening chapter. The morning will feel like a clean, blank page. But that page will not stay blank for long. The first words you speak, the first decisions you make, and the first energy you step into will begin writing the story of your week. If you rush, scatter, and answer to every call and every distraction, you will set a pattern of fragmentation. And that pattern will summon more interruptions, more noise, and fewer chances to focus. But if you begin with clarity, moving slowly but purposefully, choosing what truly matters over what simply screams for your attention, protecting your focus as if it were sacred, then you will set a completely different tone. The days ahead will open with more flow, more alignment, more ease. Mercury direct in Leo on this Monday is like planting a flag into the ground and declaring to the universe, "This is who I am. This is where I am going." If you plant that flag in strength, your strength will carry you to Friday and beyond. If you plant it in uncertainty, the days that follow will echo that hesitation right back at you. This is not a Monday to tiptoe into. It is a Monday to step into with your full presence. The tone you set now will either carry you forward or weigh you down. And that choice is entirely in your hands from the very first moment you step into August 11th. The first hours of any Monday are like the first steps into uncharted territory. They decide whether the path ahead will be smooth and clear or tangled and obstructed. On this day, that power is magnified. Mercury direct in Leo charges the air with momentum, and every choice you make will ripple further than usual. Think of this day as a launch pad. The strength and clarity of your launch will determine your speed, your trajectory, and whether you soar into the week or struggle to lift off at all. The secret is always in the first moves. How you handle the opening hours of August 11th sets a frequency, and frequencies want to repeat. Set a high one now, filled with discipline, clarity, and decisive action, and it will echo through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and beyond. Set a low one of hesitation and distraction, and that too will replay itself. Treat this Monday not as just another day, but as the architect of your entire week. Ask yourself, what do I want this week to feel like? What's the one action I can take today to prove to myself I mean it? What will I refuse to carry forward? By nightfall, the energy you've chosen will already be in motion, and once it's moving, it will be harder to stop than it was to start. That is why this day matters more than any other day of your week. Make the start count. Some Mondays arrive quietly, slipping into the background. Others arrive like a test. August 11th is the latter. Not a test in the form of a dramatic crisis, but in the form of people, the kind who show up at the start of your week and, with a single word, request, or even just their presence can shift your entire state of being. Some will lift you higher. They will remind you of what's possible. They will spark ideas and help you see more clearly. Being with them will feel like opening a window in a room you didn't realize had grown stale. Fresh air rushing in, light flooding the space to breathe again. Others will drain you without even trying. They will come with their doubts, their noise, their swirling chaos. They will treat your Monday as a place to drop their burdens without asking whether you have the capacity to carry them. They may not notice your focus scattering, but you will hours later when you feel heavy before the week has even truly begun. On August 11th, Mercury direct in Leo will make these energies stand out sharply. You will not need to guess who feeds you and who depletes you. You will feel it instantly. Your only job is to trust that feeling. Don't dismiss it to keep the peace. Don't override it to be polite. Don't promise yourself you'll recover later, because you won't. Not easily. If someone fuels your fire, keep them close. If someone dims your flame, create distance, even if only for today. Because the first people you allow into your Monday often decide whether you rise or sink for the rest of the week. And August 11th is not the day to sink. It is the day to stand tall in your clearest self and refuse entry to anything or anyone that would cloud it. So when the morning comes, picture your energy as a bright, steady flame. In the early hours, it burns clean and strong, untouched by the world. Every person you allow near it will either shield it from the wind or blow on it until it wavers. That's why you must choose with precision. If a presence feels heavy, trust that. If a conversation pulls you backward into old patterns, step out of it. If a request feels urgent but not truly important, let it wait. Protect your flame from careless hands. You owe no explanations to those who don't understand your boundaries. You don't have to justify why your focus matters more than someone else's chaos. You don't owe access to anyone simply because they ask. Pour your energy into what expands you. The work, the ideas, the actions that align with where you're going, not where you've been. Keep close to those who speak life into your vision, whose presence makes the air feel lighter. By the time the sun sets, you'll feel the difference. The fire's still strong, the focus still sharp, the week's still yours to shape. And you will know it stayed that way, because you refuse to let just anyone stand too close to your light.